Hello, welcome to the 100x Connects community. Let me take you through the 100x ecosystem. Step 1. Become a free or paid member. Step 2. Discover your passion by tuning into the 100x daily night sessions, chatting with other members in the 100x Discord community, and participate in 100x virtual summits. Step 3. Unleash your true potential by equipping yourself with 100x workshops and work with you challenges. Step 4. Begin your entrepreneurial journey by signing up for the Malaysia Ministry-endorsed 100x 100 Days Business Startup Challenge, seeking business advice, or enrolling in the Advanced Business Coaching for pitching and funding. Step 5. Being the country's best entrepreneur community, 100x has a wealth of resources such as business funding to accelerate your business, digital marketplaces to sell your products and services, and collaboration platforms to do networking and organize your favorite event, among many others. Furthermore, 100x will also create business opportunities. All these are easily accessible and convenient for 100x members. Step 6. In return, the 100x alumni hope to bring together like-minded people and provide mentoring, internship and career opportunities to help the network grow. Pillars are used to uphold purposes. At 100x, we believe that every entrepreneur should embark on a purposeful journey. 100x is built on 7 pillars: financial intelligence, fitness and wellness, business and entrepreneurship, sales and marketing, personal development, love and relationship, and hobbies and leisure. Sign up as a 100x member and start a purposeful journey.
Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to 100x Connecting Entrepreneurs. I am Josephine Young here. So welcome everybody to 100x Connects. We have a good holiday today. Today is a public holiday, so all of you are don't have to work. Most of you don't have to work, and then you can go out and have fun. I was outside just now for a bit. I see quite a lot of families outside, so make sure that you take care of your SOP. Okay, the COVID-19 pandemic is not over yet. We have to fight this endemic together. So let's do our best to follow all the SOP. Okay, so let me introduce myself again. My name is Josephine. So I am your host for today for every Tuesday. So every Tuesday, we have a night session talking about health and fitness. So today is going to be the same. I will be talking to you something related to your health. All right. So before we start, I want to tell everybody, go and like our Facebook page if you haven't yet, okay? Like our Facebook page, our Instagram, our LinkedIn. Go and like and follow so that you get updates of our events every single day. Because every single night we have different topics, okay? Without fail, for the past 1.5 years, we have been doing session every single night to give you the best value. Because, entrepreneurship journey is not easy. Actually, life is not easy. We all need to learn all the time. So that's why 100x is here to help you. Every single night we do sessions so that we do different sharings. Monday we do sharings talking about financial intelligence. Tuesday is me. I'm going to talk about health and fitness. Then Wednesday we have networking session. If you like networking, do come and join us. Tomorrow we have a networking session in Amit. Do stay tuned, join our free membership. I'm going to put down the bar down there. Join our 100x free membership so you get all the updates of all the events, okay? And then Thursday, we have Money Magnet, teaching you how to make money. And then Friday, we have event night. So every week we have a different event. Last week we had Oktoberfest karaoke night. We sing karaoke together. It was very, very fun. It was a very good night for us to de-stress. Yeah, it was really, really fun. And then this coming Friday, we're going to have a Tokyo tour, our 6th Tokyo tour. It's the 6th month already. Every month we have one Tokyo tour. And then this coming Friday is going to be a 6th one. And then Saturday, we have been doing some funding workshops related kind of stuff. Yeah, and then Sunday we have two sessions, okay? One in the afternoon, in the evening, 4:30, is about marketing. Okay, if you like marketing, then you can come in for the 4:30 session. Night also we have another session together with our founder Alfred Fu. He's going to talk about different topics. Okay, so do come and join us. Make sure you like our Facebook page so you get all the information about all the different events. Okay, just join our free membership. You'll get to know everything. Okay, all right. So let's come back to today's topic. Okay, today we're going to talk about health and fitness, right? And then the topic actually came from one of the participants last week. Okay, one of the participants came in last week and she asked about binge eating. Therefore, today I am going to talk about binge eating and what is binge eating about, and what can you do to get out of the binge eating habit. All right, so let me just share my screen. You can see my screen right now. If you have anything you want to comment, please feel free to comment down at the comment section here. I'll be looking at my handphone here for the comments. Okay, if you have any question, feel free to ask me. All right, okay, I'm just going to play this. All right, so like I said just now, today is about binge eating. So we're going to talk about how to solve this problem as well. A lot of people have binge eating problem. In the statistic that I have read from a research, it says 2% of the population actually have binge eating problem. I think that's more than that. Okay, but I think 2% is the one that is diagnosed with binge eating disorder. Okay, so this is a very serious topic that we need to talk about, because I think everybody kind of have a certain time in their life that they kind of binge eat a little bit. Yeah, I cannot say everybody, like most people. Yeah, you will have a certain period of time that you tend to binge eat. And why would you binge eat, and how to resolve the problem is what we are going to talk about today. All right, so before that, let me introduce myself first. Okay, who am I, like, why am I here talking to you? My name is Josephine Young. Okay, so I'm the first female IFBB pro in Malaysia. I think until today I am still the only female IFBB pro in Malaysia. So what is IFBB pro? IFBB is a world-renowned bodybuilding federation, and I am the first female in Malaysia to got awarded as a professional athlete by IFBB. Okay, so yeah, I am actually a bodybuilder. All right, so besides that, I'm also I got recently got awarded as Pilates Trainer of the Year 2021 in Malaysia. So I am now currently competing for the regional award. So wish me luck. Okay, and of course I'm a personal trainer. I help people who wants to get their dream body, achieve their fitness goal, or you just simply want to get healthier, to help you to achieve that. Okay, and I am also a Pilates instructor. If you do not know what is Pilates is not yoga. Let me tell you this first: Pilates is not yoga, even though it might look similar when we do Pilates on the mat. Actually, Pilates have a lot of different equipment. It's specialized equipment. That's why Pilates is very, very niche. But what does Pilates do? Pilates basically help you to restore your posture. Okay, so if you have a postural problem, it's very good to do Pilates. Then you will get to learn, okay, what is the right posture. They also teach you about the right movement that you should do to your body. A lot of times we move in a wrong way that can create pain for our body. So Pilates can train you that to learn how to move properly for your everyday life, or even if you are a sports person, it can really train up all your tiny muscles that you never thought that it exists. Okay, and then of course it helps you with your strength. Okay, with the Pilates equipments, with the machines, it actually has resistance, so it builds up your strength, and it also help with your flexibility. We also care a lot about the core muscles, because without the core, you are not able to support yourself. So this is what I do, teaching people Pilates. And of course, a lot of people come for Pilates because they have pain, they have certain injury, they have certain pain. It can be an occupational pain sometimes, when we're sitting too much in front of the desk, and we start having this neck pain and stuff. So my job is to teach that person on what to do, how to do it properly so that you can release all your pain. Okay. Besides that, I'm also a certified nutrition coach. So if you need any advice on nutrition, I am here to help, which is very related to today's topic. Okay. That's why I'm able to talk a little bit more about binge eating today, because I study nutrition as well. Okay, but of course, let me talk about a bit of my background, right? I didn't start off just like that. I'm just the same as you. I started off as a chubby girl. This picture was taken 10 years ago. I was like only 20 years old, but I was chubby and fat and low self-esteem, even though I was showing this like funny face, right? But actually I was hiding behind it. Okay, it was a mask that to you know to mask myself. I was actually very vulnerable, very low self-esteem. I was a dancer during that time, but I was not able to lose weight even though I was dancing 6 to 8 hours a day. So I tried all different types of like diet. I try eating slimming pills, going to slimming center, spending thousand ringgit, but I didn't get any result at all. Okay, so I got very disappointed and I gave up. Basically, I gave up and I just thought to myself, right? Oh, maybe I'm just one of those people who are meant to be fat forever in my life. Like people laugh at me and all this. I'm not that fat, to be honest, right? If you look at this picture, I am not that fat, but you have to take into account that I was taking care of myself that time, but I was still having the tummy sticking out, my hand, my arms, my body was flabby. But one day I just decided to join the gym, okay, for no good reason actually. Just joined the gym just because I wanted to do something. After I graduated as a dance degree holder, I just wanted to do something. So I joined the gym because the gym membership is cheap. Okay, so I just joined it because I can spend hours and hours in the gym and nobody is going to kick me out, right? So I mean, at least during that time. Now you cannot. Now you go to the gym, I think maximum they give you is 2 hours. You have to leave the gym already. But those days, I used to spend like quite some time. I think like 2 hours to sometimes even 4 hours, because I will eat inside the gym. I will, um, sauna in the gym or swim or do a lot of different activities in the gym. But anyway, once I started going to the gym and lifting weights, my body started changing. So that is a time that I realized that weightlifting actually does help me a lot, a lot. And with the correct diet, I'm able to slim down my body, cut down my body, and then to shape the body the way that I want it to be. So that is why I want to do all this sharing, because I have made so much mistake in the past. I don't want all of you to make the same mistakes again. And after studying and all this stuff, I decided to challenge myself and became a professional bodybuilder. This was a picture of me 2 years ago before the pandemic hit. I think this was my last competition before the pandemic. It was 2019 in October. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. So yeah, so that's the story of my life, right? So this is just a poster of showing you I won the Fitness Best Asia Award as the Pilates Trainer of the Year. And then I'm competing for the regional award, and I think the result is going to come out in November. So wish me luck. Thank you for those of you who have voted for me. I think for this is like I think 30 or 40% is by voting, and then the rest of it is by judging. So we will see how. Okay, to be honest, I don't put a lot of pressure in it. If I win, it's a good thing that I just feel I can help more people. Okay, if I don't win it, I know you'll still love me. Tell me you love me. Okay, all right. So I'm seeing some comments here. So Alexander is here, Vivian is here, Audie is here. Audie say, wow, 10 years challenge. It is inspiring to see your transformation. Thank you very much. All right, so let's get back into today's topic, which is what is binge eating disorder. Now, before I talk further, not everybody have binge eating disorder. Okay, binge eating disorder, without the disorder, it's just a binge eating. Binge eating is a mild symptoms. Okay, if I can say it like that. If you are diagnosed with binge eating disorder, then it is a medical condition. Okay, so if you're just at the beginning stage, right, once in a while you binge eat, you're not having a disorder. Okay, so don't freak out and think that you have a problem. Okay, but you have to realize something, that if you do not treat your current mild symptoms of binge eating, then it might develop into a disorder. Okay, so I hope you can differentiate this. Okay, all right. So what is binge eating disorder? Basically, it means eating a lot of food at a short amount of time. Okay, and even though you're actually not hungry, so you will, probably it's like out of a sudden, you just feel like eating, and then you keep eating and eating. You eat a lot at a short period of time. When I'm talking about short period of time, short amount of time, it is like 1 hour. Okay, in 1 hour, how much you can eat? You can eat one meal, right? But if you can eat one meal, on top of that, you have your dessert, you have your ice cream, you have your cookies, cakes, all together. Like you suddenly just eat a lot until your stomach is so full. That is what it means by eating a lot in a short amount of time. Okay. Now, it is always related to some emotional stress and distress. Okay, binge eating has something to do with your emotional stress and distress. So this is something that you need to realize. It is not um sometimes it's not about your eating habit, or um how, your personality or your lifestyle, but it is actually coming from your emotional. So this is something that you need to realize. Okay, so when you binge eat, you have a sense of release or relief during binge. So after eating, right, you feel so good. After eating a lot, you just feel good. I'm not sure how many of you have that experience before, or people around you have that experience before. After eating a lot, like when they are eating, right? Not after. Actually, it's not after. It's when they are eating. They just feel so happy. They will tell you that I'm full, but they just keep eating. So good, so good, so good. They feel so happy and they're smiling while they are eating. Okay, so when you are, so this is something that you need to realize also, that if you are binge eating, if you have binge eating disorder, it gives you that short term release and relief when you are eating. But after eating, most of the time you will feel shame and feel a sense of loss of control. So this is a very, very bad cycle. Just imagine, right? You're stressed and then you eat, then you feel happy, then after that you feel stressed again. And then you, from stress, then you eat again to feel relief, to feel happy, and then after that, after you finish, you feel shame, you feel loss of control, you feel stress. It keep on going into a cycle and a cycle and a cycle. It's just going to be non-stop. Okay, so we need to put a stop to this if you're having a binge eating problem. All right, so what causes binge eating disorder? Now there's many factors here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the scientific factors that can cause you the binge eating disorder. Number one is genetic. Okay, a lot of people may not know that genetic play a huge role in everything that we do, our lifestyle, how we behave. So some people do have that genetic. It, like, sometimes you see that, if your family members do that, binge eat, you might binge eat. Um, Sometimes it's because of the habit, because you see somebody in your family is doing that, then you follow suit, right? But if you go and test your genetic, right, go and do a genetic test if you can, you might find out that maybe one of your family member actually have a certain genetic that can trigger the binge eating disorder. Okay, it is a hormonal problem, not a problem it's a hormonal effect that is happening in your body, so it can pass down from generation to generation. So you need to be aware. We can't change our genetic, unfortunately, right? Technology is not so advanced yet. I know they are trying to do some genetic modification, but then um, I don't think it's still safe on human being yet. But anyway, we can't change it right now. But what we can do is control it. All right. The next thing is also gender. Gender, if you see, female usually have more binge eating disorder compared to male. Okay, gender play an important role here, because why? Because of our hormone again. Okay, so female have a different hormones that triggers in a very different way. Okay, so that is why like ladies during their PMS, right, they have PMS, and during that time they tend to eat a lot. Okay, they tend to start binge eating. It's all because of their hormone. So you need to understand that, realize that, acknowledge that, and do something about that. Okay, so changes in the brain. Again, hormones are all created from the brain. Not all, most of it, most of the time. Your brain control most of the hormones. So therefore, if there's any changes in your brain that can affect you from binge eating also, okay, it can be anything. It can be a trauma, or you have an accident, or anything, the changes in the brain chemical, the reaction, then you might have a binge eating disorder. Okay, now the next one is body image problem. Now this is society problem. Okay, when you see people with um, in social media right now, there's so many influencers with beautiful body shape. We tend to get body image problem. Okay, and this body image problem can become something that is more serious. Not sometimes it's not just about feeling bad about ourselves, but if you feel bad about ourselves for a long period of time, you will start developing one of these bad habit of like binge eating, not eating properly, anorexia, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. All right. Binge eating history. Now, this is a history, not talking about your family history, but your own history. Whether you have during your childhood, when you are in a teenage, have you been binge eating? Okay, so if when you are younger, you binge eat before, there's more potential of you binge eating in the future. Okay, so this is something that everybody should look back into your history and to see whether you have tried binge eating before. Do you enjoy binge eating, and how long have you been binge eating? So that will affect your future. Okay, the future we can control it, so we control the future. We can't control the past, right? But we can use our history, our past, to learn from that and become better in the future. Emotional trauma is another one. Okay, if you get heartbroken, and okay, you break up with your boyfriend and girlfriend, a lot of times people tend to start binge eating after they have had a breakup. Okay, yeah, because why? You feel stressed, right? You feel stressed, then what do? You start eating. You start eating to make yourself happy. And why eating actually makes you feel happy is actually, especially when you eat things like sugary stuff, it just gives you that insulin spike, and then it makes your body feel good. It makes you feel happy, but it's a very temporary thing. So once the sugar is gone, all digested, then you will start to feel all the stress again. Then you keep eating, and then it just become a cycle all over again. So emotional trauma is something that plays a very, very important role, because like I said before this, right, binge eating disorder most of the time is coming from emotional distress. Okay, so emotional trauma, whether you have a breakup, you have a terrible accident before, something bad happened to you, I don't know, family problem, any type of emotional trauma can trigger binge eating disorder. And of course, other psychological conditions. Okay, there's many more that we can talk about here. Okay, but we're not going to talk about it too much. Before we're going to talk about what is the solution, right? I want to tell you the risk first, because a lot of people do not realize that if you binge eat, you have a health risk. Okay, it's not just about, you may be getting fat, but there's a lot of other health risks as well. So number one, of course, is obesity, right? So if you keep binge eating, you will gain weight, you will gain a lot of fat for sure, right? Because you're eating more than what you need. Okay, most of us in like just need to eat 3 meals a day, but you are eating non-stop. So definitely you're eating extra calorie into your body, and then you can get obesity easily. All right. The next thing is about sleeping problem. Now, a lot of time, people with binge eating disorder have a sleeping problem. It can be because you have a sleeping problem, therefore you start to have binge eating disorder, but it can be the other way around as well. It's a very chicken and egg kind of situation here. Because if you have a sleeping problem, you're not able to sleep, what your body tends to tell you is telling your body that you're hungry. You need to eat something. That is why people tend to binge eat midnight. Okay, after 11 or 12 o'clock, when you're supposed to sleep, your body will start telling you that, oh, I want to eat something, I want to eat some sugar, because it is a defense mechanism for your body. Okay, the body just wants you to feel good and feel happy, because you're supposed to sleep and you're not giving your body the sleep. So the body will say, like, it will be in a stress mood, and then so the body will tell you to go and eat something so that you feel happy. You get what I mean? So if you have a sleeping problem, you tend to binge eat more often. And people who binge eat also, if you eat a lot, right, you will not be able to sleep well. Okay? So be careful. Okay? So another thing is you might have chronic pain, okay? Asthma. These are some of the health risks that you might get. Okay, you can easily get chronic pain and asthma, irritable bowel syndrome, fertility problem, because if you're obesity, you tend to get fertility problem more. You're higher risk lah. PCOS as well. If you do not know what is PCOS, it is a fertility problem, is a ovary problem. Okay, only on female, and it has PCOS has a lot to do with your weight, your obesity and stuff. Okay, and then if you have a eating disorder, you might have challenges with social interactions as well. Okay, you will feel bad about yourself because you are fat and you're having some kind of issues. Therefore, you tend to have a smaller social group, or if you go out with your friends, you are not able to interact well with people around you. Okay, and then apparently, if you have eating disorder, you also have a higher rate of hospitalization. Okay, so apparently this is from one of the research that I read. So be aware. Okay, eating disorder actually can cause a lot of health problem that you didn't realize. I like me, I didn't realize that, if you binge eat, actually can get that chronic pain, asthma, irritable bowel syndrome, as well as higher rate of hospitalization. So this is something that you need to take note of. Okay, the treatment. Okay, the treatment here that I'm going to tell you is actually for people with serious binge eating disorder. Okay, if you are a normal person, you can just listen to me and just ignore it, but just have an idea of what kind of treatment you can get if you have a binge eating disorder. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the session before, binge eating might not necessarily be you having binge eating disorder. Disorder, you already diagnosed it, you are serious. Binge eating can also be, if you're not diagnosed with binge eating disorder, you're just having binge eating, once in a while, then you do not need this kind of treatment, okay? So one of the treatment therapy is called the cognitive behavioral therapy. Then also you have interpersonal psychotherapy, dialectical behavior therapy, and weight loss therapy. So these are some of the treatments and therapy that you can go through if you go to a doctor and you're diagnosed with binge eating disorder. As you can see, right, most of this therapy are some psychological, emotional, behavior therapy. Because binge eating disorder, like I say, it is an emotional problem. It is not because you have a nutritional problem or fitness problem, but it is more into the emotional part, okay? Of course, the last one is a weight loss therapy, because once you start your weight loss journey, then things can start changing. You will acknowledge more about the problem that you are having, and then you are more motivated to change, okay? So these are some of the things. I'm not going to go deep into it because I am not the specialist in all this therapy, but what I can tell you more is the later part. Okay, of course, I forgot the last one, which is medication. If you're very, very serious in it, the doctor can actually give you medication to control. Yeah, to control your binge eating disorder, because it is a psychological problem, okay? I think I mentioned to the participant last week before that, if um, she was asking me about binge eating, and how to solve the binge eating problem. Actually, I did uh, tell her that sometimes it is, if it's a psychological problem, you might need to go to psychologist, and the psychologist can give you medication to help you with the condition. I've even read and see some people with binge eating disorder actually get a surgery. They even get a surgery so that they can um, control their binge eating disorder as well. Okay, so how to overcome binging, right? How to overcome your binge eating habit and all this. So this is the part where I can talk more, okay? So this is the steps that you can actually do without going to the therapist. Okay, so what it is. Number one, what you need to do is to keep a food and mood diary. Now, this is super, super important. Nobody can help you if you do not keep a food and mood diary for yourself, okay? Even the therapy, if you go for a therapy, the therapist will ask you this question. So before going to the therapist, you might as well start tracking down in a diary, okay? So how do you do this, right? How do you keep track of the food and the mood diary? So every time when you want to binge eat that time, I want you to just stop yourself for a while, go and get a book and write down what did you do before that makes you feel like you want to binge eat, okay? And how do you feel when you want to binge eat? Okay, so this is very, very important information, because everybody binge eat for a different reason. So you need to find out what is the reason that you binge eat. A lot of time people binge eat in the office. Okay, I see a lot of people binge eat in the office. They will buy a big packet of junk food, okay, snacks and all this stuff. They will put all these snacks on their table, on their desk, and then when they are working during office hour, they will just keep eating non-stop. So if you realize you have been doing that, when you are working. So you need to write it down. Okay, what is the occasion that you actually binge it? So just now the example I give you was in the office, when you are stressed, when suddenly your boss just give you a lot of tasks to do, you feel so stressed, you write it down. And stress, write it down, you feel stressed. So these are your trigger point that you binge it. Of course, there's many other reasons as well, right? Some people have problems with their relationship, for example, right? So they might feel like at night when everything is quiet before bedtime, then suddenly you just have this emotion coming out of you. Then you just feel like you're so stressed, you want to go and eat something. Write it down. Okay, write down in your diary, write down in the book what triggers you. Okay, just write down, okay, I have a before bedtime I feel stressed because I keep thinking about my ex-boyfriend. Okay, just write it down. Yeah, so you need to document all this stuff. And another thing I want to tell you is sometimes um it's not just about the feeling that you have, but it's also a habitual thing. A lot of people tend to go to in front of the television at night. They want to watch Netflix. They on the television, on the Netflix, and then the next thing they do is go into the kitchen and starting to bring one big packet of junk food coming out and start eating. Now that might not be a stress. That might not be due to stress, right? Because you are relaxed, you want to watch a Netflix. But that is because of a behavior problem that every time when you go to sit on your sofa on the television, it just associates with eating. Okay, so that is one of the things you need to write down as well. Okay, so you need to write down in your diary saying that I binge eat, I start taking out my junk food when I on my Netflix, then I feel like eating. Okay, so write it down so that at least you know what is actually happening to you. If not, if you're just telling people that, oh, I have a binge eat problem, nobody can help you. Okay, you need to understand what is the trigger. So like I mentioned just now, trigger can be stress, whatever kind of stress, whatever type of situation. Situation as in, like, you can be because you are just watching a Netflix or whatever lah. Maybe you're just hanging out with your friend. Every time when you hang out with a friend, then you will start binge eating. Or every Friday, thank God it's Friday, you feel happy because you don't have to go to work tomorrow, then you start binge eating. All this, write it down. Okay, so once you write it down already, then you need to start practicing mindfulness. You already know what is your problem right now. So you need to be very, very mindful about the things that you do right now. Okay. Actually, even by writing the diary itself is already the start of you practicing mindfulness. The problem with us in everyday life is we are so busy, we don't have time for ourselves to think, to really talk to ourselves. So this is a very good practice that you actually start caring and loving yourself. So start by writing down the diary. Then once you write down a diary already, the next step for practicing mindfulness is be very aware of what you are doing every single day. So whenever you face the same kind of situation again, you want to acknowledge, you want to realize that. If you do not realize that you are doing something like consciously, then it's very hard to help with your problem. So you need to be mindful. Like, for example, like I say just now, every time when you feel stressed, you tend to binge eat. So you need to be mindful. What type of situation actually makes you feel stressed? Is it because your boss calling you? Your boss calling you can be telling you a good news, but every time you see the phone call, you just like, you just you just feel stressed. even though your boss haven't said anything yet, right? So you be very mindful. Is that every time when I see my boss name coming out from my phone, then I feel like stress. I feel like I want to eat something. Okay. It can be stress from your mother, your parents. I don't know. I'm just saying, right? Can be, stress from your parents. Like, every time when you go home, your parents are going to be nagging at you. Then you feel stressed. Then you want to binge it. It can be literally any types of situation. So you need to be very, very mindful of how that trigger comes to you. Okay. So once you find out all this already, the next thing you need to do is find someone to talk to. This is very, very important. People with binge eating disorder tends to feel very shameful about themselves. Okay, they have very low self-esteem. They have an emotional problem. They tend to keep everything to themselves. They won't tell people that I'm having a binge eating issue. Okay, when your friend asks you, "Oh, why you suddenly gained so much weight?" They won't tell. Okay, you won't tell people that, "Oh, I'm having a binge eating disorder. That's why I gained weight." You just say, "Oh, I don't know, maybe I eat too much recently, or maybe I'm not moving enough. I've been sitting a lot because of MCO." All right. But if you know you have a binge eating disorder already, you have a binge eating problem, you need to talk to somebody, because talking to somebody is the best way to get a solution. People can give you advice on what to do, okay, as well as support. The support is very, very important here when you are having a binge eating problem. And the next thing is also about the accountability. So if you tell somebody that cares about you, you tell them you have a binge eating problem, I am very, very sure that person who loves you, who cares about you, wants to help you, wants to support you and hold you accountable. They will, come checking on you every single day to make sure that you are not binge eating again and again and again. All right. So it is very important. So you can either find your like family members if you're close with a family member, or you can find your friends, or you can get a coach, a consultant that can help you with that. So this is what one of the things that I do as well. I'm also a nutrition coach. So people do come to me and tell me, like, I have this binge eating problem. What should I do? Then they will talk to me. I will have a plan for them. So I hold them accountable. So this is one of the options that you can give to yourself, to talk to somebody. So like sometimes we feel shameful, right? We don't tell our family or friends about what we are going through. So if you don't want to tell them, then it might be a good idea for you to just get a coach, any nutrition coach. They will help you with this problem. Okay. Now, the fourth thing is about try to choose healthy foods. This is like super, super duper important when you are having a binge eating problem. Because if you cannot control your binge eating, right, you want to eat all the time, you might as well try to eat healthy food rather than unhealthy food. But most of the time is when we binge eat what we want to eat, potato chips lah, chocolate lah, ice cream lah, all this stuff, right? We know that all this stuff are unhealthy. So if you're having a problem, you know it, stock up your fridge, your kitchen with healthy food. Put a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables inside your fridge. So every time when you binge eat, go and get those healthy food and start eating. That can make a big changes in your nutrition as well. Okay, so you're eating like more fiber in your body, more vitamins and minerals into your body. So it's a good thing instead of eating junk food that gives you zero nutritional value and it causes damage to your body. Yeah, eating too much of sweet stuff, ice cream, cakes, and sweets and chocolate and all this stuff. Too much sugar is bad for your body, it can damage your body. You can get diabetes. If you're eating too much of potato chips and all this junk food that are salty, can give you hypertension and other problems. Okay, so instead of getting all this junk food, go and get healthy food. Okay, another thing about getting healthy food is also when you look at healthy food, you just suddenly feel healthier. It might not make you feel good, feel happy at the beginning, but at least you are consciously, you know that you are in a journey of getting healthier. Okay, so you just need to pass over that barrier, then you will feel better eating healthy food. So munch on healthy food is a much better option. So I always encourage people with binge eating problem to not buy any junk food at all, because if you don't buy, you won't eat, right? So every time when you go to the grocery shop, this is what I tell people: skip the entire section of the this junk food section. Skip it. This is what I do every time. When like every single grocery store, right? They set up in a certain way one, because it's just psychological thing. They set up in the same way. When you enter, surely is the fresh food section. So you go to the fresh food section, where they sell all the vegetables and fruits. Buy all those, put all these vegetables and fruit in your cart first. Okay. Then the next area usually you go to is where? Like the meat section, right? Buy all the meat, keep all the meat in your cart. Then the third thing you need to do is go to pay. Go pay. Don't walk around in the grocery shop anymore. Do not walk around. After you bought all these vegetables, fruits, and your meat, if you need rice, right, or noodles or whatever, but don't buy instant noodle lah, huh? Buy some good quality noodles, like organic noodles or whatever. A little bit more expensive, but it's better option. If you need carbs, or your bread or whatever, you buy all this stuff. Those necessarily one you put inside your cart, then straight away go to the counter, go to the cashier, and pay. Okay? And once you pay already, straight away you go home. And once you go home, you stock up all this food in the respective area. Okay? So all the fruits and all the vegetables, once you get home, immediately cut it. Okay? Cut them, put inside the container, stuff it inside your fridge, and then when you look at your fridge, it's full with only healthy food. Your entire house is full with healthy food only. Okay. Then the next time when you want to binge eat, you feel like, oh, I want to eat something, I'm so stressed. Go to the fridge and get the healthy food out and eat. Okay. Very, very simple. Okay. Start exercising will also help you to control your eating disorder. How and why? Number one, because exercising creates endorphin in your body. It makes you feel happy, right? It makes you feel happy biologically because of the hormones, the happy hormones that your body is producing. So now, when you start exercising, you're already less stressed. Okay? So next time when you're feeling very stressed, what you need to do is, instead of binge eating, go and do some exercise. Okay? Stop yourself in front of the kitchen and do some exercises. It can be very simple exercises. If you're at home, right, it can be very simple exercises. You can just do some squats, do some jumping jack, do some push-ups and all this stuff. Very, very simple. But once your body start working, start moving, immediately your body will produce this feel-good hormone. Then after that, you don't feel stressed anymore. Then you can continue your day. All right. And of course, it will be the best if you can, even start your fitness journey by going to the gym, going to some studios to start working out, doing some exercises. That will be even better, right? And another thing about why start exercising is important is also is a psychological thing, because as you start this exercising habit, you are basically consciously and subconsciously telling yourself that you are starting a healthier lifestyle. Okay, so once your mental, your psychological, your psychology associate yourself with being healthy, then your binge eating habit will start to change. You will be more aware that, since you are already starting to exercise, you put so much effort in exercising, why not I control my diet? Why not I control my binge eating problem? So that will help a lot in your journey as well. Okay. The last thing is about getting enough sleep. Okay, like I mentioned previously before, okay, the cause of binge eating can be because of your sleep, right? So getting enough sleep will actually help you. How and why, right? Because sleeping is actually one of the most important thing in our life. Okay, let's think logically lah, huh? Think logically. When you're sleeping, you can't eat, right? Okay, so you already solve one problem. Okay, and of course, by sleeping enough, your hormones will regulate. You will become better. You won't feel so stressed the next day or the day itself. Okay, because whenever you're not getting enough sleep, your body just keep giving you producing this stress hormone, and this stress hormone just keep telling you to go eat. It's like a devil inside of you telling you, beside your ears, telling you that, go and eat right now. So you don't want to feed the devil. Okay. Instead, just go and get enough sleep. Give your body what your body needs. And then from there, your binge eating disorder will be more in control. Okay. So that is the last thing that I want to tell everybody. Let me see anybody wants to ask me any question or not. Okay, please ask me questions. Okay, if you want to ask me any questions. So these are the last thing on my slide. Okay, nobody wants to ask me any questions. So I'm going to end soon. But before we end, I give you some time to put down your questions. If you have any questions you want to ask me. Okay, so once again, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself, right? So my name is Josephine Young. I'm telling you about all this binge eating thing because I am a nutrition coach. Okay, binge eating is one of the big part of when we study nutrition. Is one of the big part that we study as well, because how to actually help people with binge eating disorder, how to help them to have a better nutrition diet and meal plan and all that stuff is part of my study as well. So that's why I really enjoy talking about binge eating. And binge eating is probably the biggest nutritionist problem that people have, because everybody knows eating healthy means. Okay, everybody knows it. You know what food is good for you. You know what food you shouldn't be eating so much. Everybody knows it, but a lot of people cannot control themselves. When you cannot control yourself, that is the start of you having a disorder. Okay, you're having like some form of disorder eating. So binge eating is one of the most common one that people face, like especially during this MCO, right? I have listened to so many people telling me that they gain weight because they were binge eating. They binge eat for different reasons, right? Always a different reason. Some people binge eat because they're so stressed, because they're staying at home. They can't go out to socialize like they used to. So they're feeling all this stress they cannot express. So because usually what you all do, right, after work, probably you go out, socialize with your colleagues, you go out, dine in with your family, but now you can't do all that thing. So when you can't go out, you feel trapped, and then you will start binge eating because it just makes you feel better. Like, oh, at least I am doing something. I can't go out and dine in. I can't go out with my friends. At least at home, I'm enjoying the food that I like. I binge eat. Um, but sometimes it also can be because you're just bored. Being bored is also a reason. Is also can be a trigger of your binge eating. Yeah, because you got nothing better to do, right? You're bored, don't know what to do. Then you start binge eating. So you need to realize what is your problem. But binge eating is a huge issue during the MCO, during the entire lockdown. I have seen so many of my friends right around me gaining a lot of weight because of the MCO. Because the only reason why they gain weight is because binge eating. It is actually not because they are moving less. Actually, the main trigger is actually the amount of food they are eating at home. Yeah, because they just tend to eat more. I don't know, at home the food is better. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, so anyway, so this is a problem that a lot of people didn't realize. They didn't realize they are doing it, but they are actually. So if you are facing the same binge eating problem, um, so you need to start realizing and start to control it. But if you are really in a very serious phase already, you cannot control your binge eating, so you better go and get somebody to help you. Okay, this is very, very serious, because it will just get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, because it is a cycle. Okay. All right. So besides being a nutrition coach, I'm also a personal trainer as well as a Pilates instructor. So basically, my life is about helping people to be healthier, fitter in their life. Besides that, I'm also an athlete myself. Right. I'm a IFBB Pro. I'm a professional bodybuilder. I'm the first female in Malaysia who got awarded as a professional bodybuilder for IFBB Federation. I also recently got awarded as the Pilates Trainer of the Year 2021. Okay, so these are some of the things. Just want to show you. All right. So if you want to follow me, okay, do go and follow me, okay, on my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my LinkedIn, and also on my YouTube. Okay, I also have a YouTube channel. So go and follow me in all these different platforms, because sometimes I do some sharings there. So yeah, and if you have any question you want to ask me also, you can connect with me in any of these platforms. So I will for sure come back to you and reach out to you and answer all your questions. So okay, and then I also give a 30 minutes free consultation for people who wants my consultation, who wants to talk to me more, because sometimes it might be very difficult to explain through text messaging, right, on social media. So if you want to talk to me, I do offer 30 minutes free consultation. The link is just down there, the slide there. So yeah, so that's all for today. So let me check my see anybody comment anything or not. I'm so sweaty because it's really, really hot, warm in my room here. Yeah, we even say very informative. Thank you very much. And then Lydia say, hi Joe, this is excellent, great sharing. Thank you, all of you. Yeah, thank you for joining today. Yeah, so like I say, binge eating is a serious problem. A lot of people think it's a small matter, but it can actually become quite serious if you do not take care of it. Because why? Once you start developing binge eating problem, initially it can be a binge eating disorder where you just keep eating and eating and eating. Then after that, it will be to a point that you will start feeling guilty. You start feeling shameful. Then what can happen after that is you might get anorexia at the end, because you just feel like, I cannot eat anymore. Okay, so it will go to the other extreme. That's when you see people like from binge eating, they eat a lot, a lot, a lot. Then after that, they go to the toilet and then they vomit out all the food because they feel guilty. And if you keep doing that, slowly it's going to develop something very, very serious. Yeah. And on the not so serious side, if you just keep binge eating, the next thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to get obesity. And I've talked about this very, very often, that obesity is very, very risky. It's not just about you being overweight. Being overweight is not a problem, but being unhealthy, it is a big problem. Because once you are obese, you are high risk in everything. Everything. I'm literally talking about every single thing. Like, whatever that you can think of, like, diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, um, high cholesterol, heart problem, stroke, cancer, blah, 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 so on and so forth. You are at a much higher risk. So if you don't want to get sick, it is better that you start controlling the binge eating problem. Yeah, before it start developing into a disorder. Because once it start developing into disorder, then you need to see therapies, and you might need to start taking medication, which I really seriously do not suggest everybody to take that medication. Yeah, so like a lot of times we can do something about it, but if we realize that we have the power to change it. It's whether you want to do it or not only lah. Yeah, so you want to hold that control, and then do your best to change whatever bad habit that you have. I mean, to be honest, I used to have a binge eating problem when I was young. I used to have a binge eating problem because this is how my family lifestyle used to be, or maybe it's just me lah. Actually, I'm not sure, but I do binge eat once in a while. Last time, when I was younger, um, yeah, I will eat a lot of, like, I can finish. Even when I was a kid, I'm able to finish one big packet of potato chips all by myself. And then after that, I will tell my mom that, I'm not full yet. I want to eat something else. But of course, my mom tried to control me, right? So I do suffer that. And, like, especially ladies, right? Ladies tend to get binge eating much more often when you are stressful. When you're having a PMS, you just had this problem that you're not able you just feel like you want to eat lah. It's not that you cannot control, but you just feel like you want to eat. Um, so once you realize that binge eating is a problem, uh, then you can do something about it. So when I started realizing that, okay, this is bad, right? If I continue binge eating, what's going to happen to me is my tummy is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm going to get so unhealthy. So the next time when the same trigger comes to me, right, all I need to do is just tell myself, Joe, go get something else. If you want to binge eat, go get something to binge, something else to binge. So I make sure that at my house, right, I don't have unhealthy food. Maybe once in a while, once a week, maybe I have a something to treat myself, but most of the time I don't. And I always try to give myself time to think. This is another thing that I didn't write inside my slide. Every time when you feel like you want to binge eat, stop yourself, give yourself time to think. Yeah, don't immediately go and grab it. Think. Take a deep breath. Just stop and think. Think whether you need it or not. If you don't need it, why would you take it? If you feel like, you try to compare the pros and cons. If the cons is more, then don't do it lah, right? If the pros is more, then okay, feel free to, make whatever decision that you want. But most of the time, when you start wanting to binge it, there's not much pro. The only pro is just that it makes you feel happier temporarily. Yeah, you might think that it can help you to release the stress, but it's just temporarily. And once all of you here start realizing and you tell your friends about it, and they start realizing that it's only temporarily, temporary, never mind, my tongue is all twisted today. Temporary, so you won't be able, then you can start making the decision. Everything we can control it. Yeah, if really to the point that you really cannot control anymore because your emotion is so overwhelming, then I would suggest you to go for a psychiatrist, go to get a therapist to help you, because that can be something more serious after that. All right. Okay, that's all for my sharing for today. Thank you everyone for joining in today. Let me know if you want me to talk about other topics and whatever. You can put it down in the comment section so that I can plan something out, because this idea of talking about binge eating was also coming from last week participant, right? Last week somebody asked me about binge eating, so I decided I want to talk about binge eating. So tell me, what do you want me to talk about next week, okay? Or maybe the week following. Yeah. So if you want me to share anything, feel free to let me know. Maybe not now, you can after that, private message me on my social media. Or those of you have my WhatsApp number, you can WhatsApp me and say, hey, Joe, can you talk about this? I've been having this problem, or my friends have been having this problem. Can you talk more about it? Let us understand a little bit more. Then I'll be happy to talk more about it. Okay. All right. So if you have nothing else, then I'm going to end today's session. Okay. So once again, thank you all of you for joining for my Tuesday session. If you like this session, please recommend it to your friends and family so that they can benefit as well. And make sure that you go and follow my social media, especially my YouTube, because my YouTube has a lot of content there, because it's all long form. I mean, not that long, like it's about 10-20 minutes kind of content, so that you can go there and watch and learn. Okay, because I know my night session is a bit long, so if you go on my YouTube, it's a shorter version. So go and watch it and make sure you tell your friends about it, so yeah, everybody can live a healthier and fitter lifestyle. Okay, so thank you everyone, thank you so much, and I will see you next Tuesday.